today it's Sundays with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, today, Kathleen, you know, this is our dear Greg, who is my son. I laugh because he used to be my son-in-law, and then my daughter fixed it so that she took the in-law off and left me the son.
That's awesome.
And I hope that you guys hear that, because there's no love lost ever. No matter how the form of your relationships change, nothing changes love. So that's what makes the world really go round. Or it goes up and down and sideways, and you can drive yourself crazy. So
what I wanted to do, since I'm not behind the camera and Kirky here is, I wanted to say my word, which was willingness for the year. A lot of us have made up a word that we're using just to help us create more peace and joy. And the baby's crying.
Okay, hey, exactly.
We're doing Sundays with Cinnamon. It's great. I love it.
Don't let anything take you off your mark.
Bye, Julie. So, willingness is my word, and I wanted to know what Cinnamon's word was and Greg's word. So why don't we start with Greg?
Let's start with Cinnamon.
Oh, okay, let's start with Cinnamon. I'll let go of the control.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Everything. Why? Because you can't change what is, and if you don't accept it, it means you're resisting it, and if you resist it, you take yourself down.
You've had a lot to resist this year.
I have, yeah, I have. A lot of challenges. Some of you know what they are, and they've been intense and perfect for my growth, because I have shown up. You know, love works, and I am who I say I am, and this year has proven that to me far more than ever before, and I'm just grateful. I don't need any more proof, God.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you very much.
Do you need anything more for your spiritual growth?
No.
I mean, really?
No. What about you, Greg? Your word?
Well, I was going to say love in general, because it is encompassing. Compassion. Always,
And the F word. Forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
He's experienced a lot of that this year. and starting with yourself. Because when his marriage changed form, the first thing he and I looked at was, how are you responsible for this showing up? Because we call into our existence that which we need for our growth. And so instead of looking around for who did what and why and how, you look at, how did I create this experience, and what did this come to teach me? And am I willing to learn? So, yeah. And compassion, forgiveness. You can't have compassion without forgiveness. And so it's all love. All of these words are universal words for love.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And when you say create this experience,
the experience that you are living in the confines of what shows up. I'm not saying that you create, like, for instance, my daughter was shot by a mentally ill person this year, and she didn't say, oh, I think I'll get shot by she said, whoa, here's my reaction, here's my experience of being shot in this way. Because we do believe in contracts, and I'm just so accepting and grateful of the fact that he didn't have a contract to kill her. So the worst has not occurred. And even if it had, God would be in it, and I would accept it. So, and at the same time, I hope you take this into the new year. Don't stop putting out for what you want. Mm-hmm. You have a right for what you want.
Play the what if game for yourself.
Although, except when life doesn't show up that way. When it shows up a different way, you just learn to want what you need for your growth. Because what you need for your growth is right here. Look around you. And then you'll know what you're resisting and what you're accepting.
Mm-hmm.
It's so empowering when you do that as well.
Give us an example of how you've done it.
Just like what you said in regards to before I recognized love and fear as basically the two choices of
Yeah.
how to live your life. and to when you have something like a marriage that doesn't work,
In the way you want it
and
to.
the way, yeah, it doesn't meet your models,
Yeah, yeah.
and to look at it, okay, what is that going to teach me? Looking at it as a lesson, and growing from it, rather than just being angry and getting into fear and dwelling on the negative. It's so much more empowering to look at it as something that you brought on yourself,
creating the
because
fear
of your
and creating it.
programming, that you brought it on to cross your path to teach you the lessons that you needed to learn in order to rise up.
Happy
You're
New
teaching
Year.
him well, Mama. Look at him. He's all,
He made the choice to learn. Wow. In short order. When this came down, it was just like overnight. Where are those pathways? And he memorized them practically overnight.
And you have known Cinnamon for how long?
Oh my God, since you were what, 12? I was cutting your hair.
12 years old, and it took a divorce for him to finally start listening to
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Although he saw me as a well-meaning old broad, but
Sorry. But it's so great because
It is.
look at the gifts
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a divorce
yeah.
or cancer
Yeah.
or
And you
they
know
really do bring
what I
gifts.
love about everything that has occurred between Greg and I is that I know that I helped him to see his own beauty, how fabulous he is, and not to play small in that, and not to lack humility. Just embrace the divinity in you. How do you reject yourself without rejecting that which created you? So that's really
And
important.
let's talk about that, the divinity thing, because today I was featured on the Daily Love speaking about how important it is for our language to go along with our powerful divinity self, although our ego is powerless. So will you speak on that a bit?
Our ego creates powerlessness. Yeah. The thing is, you cannot say, I am powerless and I love. Not in the same breath. You can say I'm powerless and surrender to that powerlessness, or you can, the power of love is the power of the universe. It's the greatest power there is. So you see how you cannot say I am loving and I am powerless.
What about when you say I'm powerless over people, places, things?
You're creating powerlessness no matter what the situation, because I have dealt with people who wouldn't throw water on me if I was on fire, and I don't make myself powerless. I just love them anyway.
And love is the most powerful force.
That's it.
That can
He's saying-
influence, and it's really none of our business whether they take it or not, but to plant that mustard seed
Yeah.
when you're around someone, and to not walk away and say, well, I can't control them anyway, so I'm just going to walk off. If you have information that you know can help someone, it is your responsibility
Yes.
to say that to somebody. And then what they do with it, they do with it.
It's your responsibility to ask permission to say it, because then your responsibility is done. If they say no, thank you for saying no. If they say yes, thank you for saying yes.
Or if you're in a conversation and you know that they want it. I mean, you don't have to ask me for permission because you know I want.
Well, you've given it to
information.
me.
Yes.
Yeah, you've already
Yes.
given it to me.
Yes. Yeah, it's not going around going, you should do this and you should do
No,
that.
God forbid.
No. That's not what it is.
Okay,
And
what?
I've seen you stop people, and I've seen you say things at coffee shops, and you'll just plant a little seed and you'll run off. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
You're a light worker in this world.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
yeah.
Telling y'all.
Yeah,
It's
although
you
that
say
comes
it from love.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
You're
that
saying
comes
from
from loving guidance, because there are things I would not say to people were I not guided to do it. That's my
Do you have an
obligation.
example?
It's my obligation as a servant. Yeah, I have an example.
Because you have great
Some
examples.
guy
We shall
was-
stop people.
Yeah, some guy was coming out of Starbucks one day and he passed me, and Holy Spirit said, tell this guy that he's creating smallness in himself, and that he's got a situation in his life, a romantic situation that needs attention. He's closing his eyes to it. It's going to cause him a lot of problems. Now, you get out of your car, look at a total stranger, and say that. And so what I did was, I said, okay, and I said, excuse me, sir, and I just said, I would like your permission, and I know I look like a total
Raving
maniac. I said I look like a total maniac, and you could call me that. And I would just love your permission to tell you something that I know about you. Well, his curiosity was killing him, so he says, okay. And then when I told him, he teared up, and I said, so you know what I'm talking about? And he said, yes, I do. And he thanked me. And I went my way, and he went his, and never saw him again. So
and
that
he received it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, because it was too bizarre not to. I'd already declared I was a maniac.
I would call that. I would love someone came up to me every day and said that would be so fun.
Yeah. That occurred too. Oh, I was at Trader Joe's with Heidi one day, and this little lady that she was like the embodiment of my grandma, who was my saint on earth for years, and she's been gone for 40 years, although she's still with me. And this woman was carrying the spirit of my grandma. So I went and I told her, I said, I know that this sounds very bizarre, and I just want you to know that I love you. It's like you're my grandma. And I just want you to know that there's a spirit in you that is so beautiful, and I love you, and I'll probably never see you again. She hugged me. She gave me her phone number. It was just amazing. Heidi said, only you and only in America.
Okay.
So trust the Holy Spirit. Don't play small. Just be willing for somebody to say you are a maniac and walk away,
You know it
or
all.
thank you so much. Either way, you're free.
Yeah, with that, Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy
Let's
New
say our
Year.
word one more time.
Yeah.
Willingness.
Acceptance.
Compassion.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.